together.
It's
and
not
draw
an issue of
conclusions.
publicness or privacy. That's the wrong analysis, I would argue, with Anil, and I'll take him out for drinks and we'll do this. I would argue it's a public interest analysis as the core of journalism.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, is that you have to weigh public interest versus people's right to be left alone. Let's not use privacy. Right to be left alone.
So the guy, I'll give you a different example. So the guy who took the picture of the plane in the Hudson,
yeah,
he had, I don't know how many he had, let's say he had 10 followers. Well, that was public interest.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
So the issue is how many
that.
followers he had. Oh, no, you can't use that. You can't refer to that because that was private because he only has 10 followers. That analysis doesn't work.
Yeah. It's a good article. Read that. Read Dana Boyd's response. Both of them are Medium. Anil Dash and Dana Boyd. I think it's a really important argument, and it points to a really good piece by John Oliver this week on native media, and I'm sure native content, which is another form, by the way, of this kind of, I think, slipping standard in journalism.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, I didn't see this.
Oh,
Was
it's
this
good.
on his show?
It's pretty long. I don't know if we're going to air it, but I got to air one little bit of it.
I know which part you want.
The New York Times saleswoman.
Oh, that part. Yeah, but I also think the song. What's her name?
He sings it was so. You know what? At first, I didn't watch John Oliver's last week tonight, or whatever it's called, because I said it's just a ripoff of The Daily Show. Come on, John. You stole Jon Stewart's format, and of course, he's a former Daily Show reporter. But I have to say, he has done such great advocacy.
You nailed a couple of segments.
He's done such great advocacy journalism. And who knows anything about native content? This is not something that is talked about in mainstream media. We talk about it all the time. This is the advertisement hiding his editorial content. Very famously, was it Forbes that allowed the Church of Scientology to write a...
No, that was the Atlantic.
The Atlantic,
Forbes,
even worse.
Forbes has, because they just went off.
The Atlantic allowed the Church of Scientology to write a puff piece for the Church of Scientology, posted on their website as if it were an article. It says in fine print, this is paid for. But this new idea of native content is, everybody knows, an attempt to trick viewers into thinking they're watching editorial content when they're really just watching advertising content.
Right, so Forbes is the one that allows advertisers to have what they call brand voice. And they have a little link next to it that says, what's this? As I've said to them, if you have to say what's this, clearly the label ain't clear enough. So it's an effort to move. Now, the New York Times, on the other hand, has started into this, and it says paid post, and they changed the color, and they changed the font, they do all kinds of stuff. So they did a feature about women in prison tied to Orange is the New Black. But it troubles me because the reader is going to ask and say, well, if this is such a good story, why didn't you assign this? Why didn't you do this journalistically? And if it's an ad, really, for that, then did you soften this? What was the influence of the advertiser? Yeah, fine, you said paid post, but you're using your motif of telling me a journalistic story now for the sake of the advertising. It's going to hurt the brand. It hurt Forbes' brand. They were sold for less than they wanted because of this.
Good. I don't know. And it did hurt the Atlantic's brand briefly. Let me see if I can find this. The New York Times is engaged in this as well. You'd think the august New York Times would be somewhat above this. And he plays a little bit of a clip from...